is session 4. This is The Body Learns What You Trust. And this was, this really, as I looked at how many people talk about neuroplasticity, but yet it turns into such a work and a performance is what I see a lot of times. And so, but yet it is the art of repetition, what we are remembering, what we are holding on to, rehearsing, right? Actually does make a difference. And so that's why this is so important. And so I'm going to go into this, and I'm kind of covering the chat. So if anybody wants to jump in or ask a question, even in the midst of it, just say something, say hey, or whatever. You're not going to bother me. So as I do this, let's just start with a somatic pause, because I like to do that, because I want you guys to get really good at these pauses, right? So here we go. Before we talk, before we reflect, just arrive. So all I want you to do, what does that mean? What do you mean, Erin? Just notice your body in the space that you're in. We're just shifting our perspective a second. Just notice your body in your space. Maybe it's feel your chair, feel where your body is supported. You don't have to adjust anything. You don't need to sit differently. Just notice. Feel where your body is supported, the chair, the floor, the air in the room. Let your breath move the way it wants to move. If you want to do some deep breathing, you can, but no deep breathing. Just no correction. Don't correct anything. You're not doing anything wrong. Just let it all be. Now gently ask yourself, where does my body feel even 2% steadier right now when I notice? Just think about, not 100%. We're not looking for fireworks here. We're not looking for completely calm. Notice in your body where you feel just slightly steadier. And when you notice it, just stay. You don't have to improve it. Don't hold it. Don't analyze it. Just let your body register it. And this is how familiarity begins. We talked about that in the last class. Not through force, but through staying. So notice if anything softens when you stop interrupting yourself. You're just staying. Notice if anything shifts when there's no agenda. You don't need to make safety happen. Just let yourself remain where it already exists. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes if you're closed, and we'll begin from there. And I'll post that somatic pause, because that's I do that throughout the day, almost every day. I take those moments to just be present. I'm teaching my nervous system that being present is the safest place. So this week, it's not that we learned something new, although it feels like it, but we recognized more so something that has always been happening. The body organizes around what feels safest to repeat. Not what is always the healthiest, not what is the most spiritual, not what is the most true, but what feels true. So on Tuesday, we explored how identity is practiced. We're not just, you're stuck with what you get. Marilyn, what you got is what you got. Like that, you're stuck with it. No, actually, it's practice. So we talked about how judgment tightens the body, and then how tightening becomes vigilant, how vigilant repeated begins to feel like, oh, this is my personality. That was a big thing. I spent quite a bit of time over the last few weeks really looking at that in my world. Like, where have have I accepted something as, oh, that's just my personality, but actually it's just been the thing that I've practiced. I didn't even realize it. Yeah. And so it's all okay. It's going to be the book. It's all okay. We saw the reverse, right? We talked about how safety softens and how softening allows us to just stay, and how staying builds trust, and how trust repeated, what we're doing in these somatic moments, these moments of pause, you're teaching your nervous system that it's trustworthy and that you're trustworthy. And that trust, as we repeat it, begins to feel second nature, feels first nature. It just is your natural. That is what neuroplasticity is. That's it. The nervous system adapting to what it lives inside of. If it lives inside of a container of safety, it adapts. If it lives inside of a container of chaos, it adapts. It's really brilliant. So we thought we were in this war all the time. There was something wrong with us. But no, it was just adapting to what we rehearsed. So great news. Great news. So now we get to just rehearse being. We're not looking for some crazy mystical thing, nothing dramatic, no fireworks, although I love fireworks, but just repetition with familiarity. And so here's kind of the gentle shift I want us to hold on to tonight. We'll talk about this more. If the body learns what it trusts, what are we? Oh, sorry. Shoot. Sorry, guys. Forgot to turn my phone off. Let me just do that right now. The nervous system adapts to what it lives inside of. So if the body learns what it trusts, what are we trusting when we tighten? So when I feel that tightness, when I feel that anxiety, right, it's not just random. Now I know it's not just random. Vigilance is not an accident. At some point, staying vigilant and striving and working felt safer than softening. And at some point, judgment felt protective. I find this in counseling quite often. It's like, especially when I'm doing couples counseling, it's so easy to turn into the judge and the mediator and the bouncer, especially if somebody's done something wrong. And there's something inside of us that, ooh, yeah, we believe in grace and we believe in mercy, but at the same time, we still would like a little bit of punishment. And so when we realize that we've also done that to our bodies, then that word vigilant, you're like, gosh, that seems like such a harsh word, but it's actually very real. And at some point, that it felt like we had to be that in order to protect ourselves. It's like at some point, pressure felt like stability. Why? Because it was just learned behavior. So now all of a sudden you have this girl saying, no pressure. It's all everything. You're good. Like everything about you, you do not need to be fixed. Could you just notice? Could you let yourself be safe right where you are? And kind of your body's like, wait, but we've learned how to do this. So I'm kind of stirring the pot. I'm asking you to go on a trust journey with your nervous system it's new. Because here's the deal, your body does not repeat what is true. It repeats what feels safest. So I'll give a quick example because I have a couple that I'm counseling, and they've walked through a lot. That I think we've been together now 11 months or 10 months, and so it's been a while, and it's like miraculous that they're still together. It's super cool, but they definitely are doing the work. But for a while, because there were hidden things that she didn't know about, it only felt safe for her to dig and to ask questions every day. Did you do this? Did you have a thought about this? Did you think blah, blah, blah? which all that did was keep him attached to what he had felt ashamed of, but he had stopped. But yet it felt like I haven't asked him what he's been doing for these 10 years of our marriage. So how can I quit now? Because he's been lying to me. So that felt real. I couldn't just tell her in week one not to do that. I had to give her body and nervous system time to actually be like, okay, can I trust this process now? And what it's done, her backing off has caused him to be able to face himself, not in shame, not in retaliation, not in, oh my God, I could lose my marriage if I say the truth. And so I ask myself when I'm counseling in these situations, I'll ask myself, Erin, what about you? Is it possible that you still feel safety in judgment, in needing to correct you, pressure, right? And those are great questions, right? But easy. We're making it really easy. So if that means even our pressure personality was an intelligent adaptation, not a flaw. It was intelligent. But now we're seeing, and we saw this in Lorraine's story. This was so good. I love what you said. The old pattern surfaced. I stuffed myself into that dress. That was the best. I stuffed myself into that dress. That's the pressure pathway. But instead of spiraling, you stayed. You noticed. You didn't leave. You danced. You didn't attack. You danced. You laughed. You enjoyed. And in the staying, something new registered. Not because you forced positivity, but because you trusted yourself enough not to abandon the moment. Let that sink in. That's a big move. That's a big energetic move. You want to add to that, Lorraine?
Oh, I want to share my testimony from today because
Yeah,
speaking it out helps.
yeah.
So, having yucky feelings about myself and certain situation and thinking about it a lot. I actually thought about it less today than yesterday. Praise God. Something
Okay.
happened last night. I don't know what. But at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, you're feeling yucky. I'm leaving work and I'm just like, no, I'm perfect for this moment.
Come on.
I'm perfect for this moment. And like, we have everything that we need is in us because, and when I did that, it just brought me back from kind of having to press forward to try to get myself to a place where where I need to be
Right.
into, say, no, I'm where I need to be. God is, I'm already perfect for this moment. And I don't know, I just felt better.
Good. That's
And,
because
and
no,
like I said, with that other testimony too, is like when I stopped pressuring myself or saying I'm going to try to do this, that, no, and I just said kind of like everything's okay and I'm perfect for this moment. And I don't really need to feel bad about this or think about it. But when I relaxed and did that, then the idea came to me. Oh, you can dance.
I should dance.
Like yeah, and it's something I love to do, and I need to move. Like it's yeah, and yeah. So anyway,
Bravo.
yay.
Good story. Good testimony. That is learning to trust yourself enough not to abandon the moment.
Yeah, and learning one
And
of
that,
those things that you said that we can trust you. One of the things you said in the beginning is you can trust yourself, and I was like shocked by that, and I'm like, oh wait, you know, we
yeah.
can trust ourselves. That God put it in us. He's already given us everything. So the idea
Yeah.
that we yeah, so it's helping. Thank you.
Good. Good. That's such good. The thing is that safety opened up new possibilities. It opened up the idea, oh, I should dance to move. I actually enjoy that. That doesn't sound like work. That actually sounds fun. That's what I'm talking about. When we'll trust ourselves that we're okay, not abandon the moment, not abandon us in the moment, even if you don't get this right now. Okay, hear me. even if you don't fully get this right now, if you don't feel like you're fully connecting to it right now, if it doesn't feel like, dang, I hear Lorraine's testimony, she's clearly getting it, but I don't feel like I am. If you'll just notice even how you feel that way about it, that is trusting yourself. Trusting that things are happening in spite of the patterns of judgment that have been there for decades, y'all. It's a big deal. And so then what happens is that safety opens up new possibilities. Joy comes in, movement, dancing, right? So this isn't mindset work, it's trust reshaping what has previously been familiar. Yeah. Jump in.
I'm getting
Love
to
it.
as you're
Love it.
as you're teaching us about this is what's felt safe in the past, pressure or doing this. Like I'm
Yep.
realizing, like, oh, I'm doing these things to feel safe, but it actually doesn't make the situation better, and it's not really making me safe. And that, yeah. So, it's helped to release. Wait a second. I'm
Well,
safe because I'm safe.
that's
I don't need to, you know, pressure someone else to be safe.
yeah, that's good. That's really good. And what I love about it is it's like just kind of subtle, right? It's sneaking in. It's not like this big, wow, revel, oh my God. No, it's like when we'll just notice every moment and let every moment be, okay, Erin said I'm perfect for this moment. So even if I don't feel it, I'm just going to believe I'm perfect for this moment and just notice the room, notice the chair, notice where I'm being supported. That somatic exercise, when you notice, okay, I'm sitting in a chair, I didn't wonder if the chair was going to fail me. Your body, you're saying, okay, I'm held. Your nervous system is like, oh, we're held, we're safe. She's pointing out the fact that I'm supported. I can be supported. These are subtle power moves, right? This is this is not because we applied neuroplasticity. It's because something in us feels less under threat. And when the body feels less under threat, different decisions feel available. And we saw that in the hospital story too. My hospitals, when I told that experience without judgment, I could stay with myself. That staying felt really safe, and that safety echoed into the week. And so for this connect, we're not trying to apply this. We're here to notice it, right? Where has safety already been repeating in you this week? Where, and you already gave us testimony of that. That's awesome. Where did you stay instead of leave? Where did something soften even slightly that change felt possible? Just felt possible, right? Because embodiment, let me just double check. Sherry just texted. Okay. Embodiment is not effort, it's recognition. And the body learns what it trusts. So sometimes trust grows quietly. Maybe it's one conversation, one breath, one dance, one moment you didn't interrupt yourself with judgment. And here's the subtle truth that I leave us with, and then we're going to do one more somatic pause, and I want us to talk, is trust is not something you just decide all of a sudden. I'm going to be trustworthy. No, trust is where the body relaxes enough to remain. So that's why just even if you don't feel like you understand this or you're really getting it or it's really clicking with you, would you just do even those somatic pauses, just the pause to go, okay, I'm supported. I notice my room. Feel the air. Slightly cool. I'm so glad it's not hot. And I just notice and I let myself feel supported and feel held. That is identity reshaping right there. Y'all, the fact is I was part of the problem for many years because I just took the whole religious thing hook, line, and sinker. And there's so much, I'm going to call it what it is, gaslighting. Now, I'm not talking about people don't mean to, but when we've talked about faith and building and renewing our mind, we kind of gaslighted ourselves into all this stuff that we had to do well in order to reach the pinnacle. But the problem is there's no pinnacle to reach. And even peace seemed really inaccessible unless I was doing something better or worshiping better or reading more Bible or fasting or something was added to the mix to help me be better. And I will always ask that same question that I ask myself, how'd that work out for you? Not great. So, what we're doing is we're just teaching our body that it can trust what it's living inside of. It's living inside of you. So here's a somatic pause I want us just to end this part with, and then I want us just to open it up to talk. And again, you don't have to talk. There's just no judgment. If you're tired and you really don't want to, just know that it's not bothering. It's not bothering me. You get to be however you want to be. The goal of having this second meeting is so that there's a new perspective. There's some triggers that may jump in moments that you weren't even really prepared for. So let's just do this pause. Let's do another pause, and I'll put these both in the notes. So again, would you just notice your body? Just notice your body. Not how it should feel. Don't put any, oh, you should be feeling, Erin's working so hard here. You should be feeling relaxed. You should be getting all this. Please, no. There's no judgment. There's no judgment whatsoever. Just how does it feel right now? Maybe something is the same. Maybe something is slightly different. So let your attention settle where your body feels supported. Just shift your attention, the chair, the ground, your own breath. Notice if there's even a 2% more steadiness than when we began. And if there is, stay with it. And if there isn't, that's okay too. Nothing needs to improve for this to matter. Hear that. Nothing needs to improve for this to matter. Let your body register that you stayed tonight. Yes. That you listened. That you didn't leave yourself. You didn't get frustrated because you don't know if you have the same testimonies. It's okay. Nothing needs to improve for this to matter. Just stay with you. Don't leave. Trust is not something you decide. Trust is where the body relaxes enough to remain. And just see if there's a place inside of you that feels willing to remain, even briefly. Just feel it. No fixing, no proving, no performing. Just staying. Let that staying be enough right now. And as we close this part of it, allow this truth to settle. My body learns what it trusts. And sometimes trust grows quietly in moments like this. You don't need to do anything with it. Just let it register. And then let this register. I am perfect for this moment. This moment. I know I'm asking you to trust something that is so subtle. But I think as we go forward, you're going to realize it's not even that subtle. It's such a big deal. And that fully embracing this moment in time, this moment, right now it's 7:05 p.m. for me. I guess it's probably 9:05 Friday morning for Vicky. It's probably 8:05 for you guys in the Eastern. But right now on this February 19th, in this moment, in this minute, right now, could you just allow yourself to feel supported? Could you just allow yourself right now to just believe? Let your body hear you say, no fixing, no proving, no performing. I'm just here. I'm staying right here. And I am perfect for this moment. When you're ready, just say that. I am perfect for this moment.
I'm perfect for this moment.
Yeah. So I'll open it up. And I want to explain, actually, before I open it up, let me explain the Amara AI prompts just in case you didn't, in case anybody weren't able to do it. But I gave 2 prompts, and I'll send more prompts as kind of as we go. But like the prompt number 1, the help me practice trust prompt, you just copy and paste that I am practicing teaching my body what to trust. Right now I am noticing, and then you would put in there, like for me, I was because I was kind of, my body was still not feeling great, and then my dog didn't seem like she was feeling good, and I was kind of felt like I was under it, and I'm like, what's going on, like, and so I just put in there, listen, I'm not feeling great, my physical body doesn't feel great, I feel like my dog's sick, like what's going on, and I recorded that and I put it right in there, and then I said, I'm not looking for advice, solutions, or interruption. I only want help reinforcing safety and staying present. Please reflect this back to me gently and remind me that repetition of kindness is what builds trust. And what it just spit out to me was so perfect for that moment. And I just looked at it and I just read it out loud. And I was like, oh, yes. And then I typed thank you because it was so good. And then the other one, when I notice a small judgment, you just copy and paste. I just noticed a small tightening in me. It sounded like, and then you put in your part. It sounded like, okay, how were you judging yourself? It sounded like, dang, I'm frustrated. I don't feel like I'm really clicking with this. I want to make sure I'm getting everything out of this. And it felt like kind of stressful. It felt like I'm behind. And so you'd put that in there and just say, I'm not trying to fix or remove this. I just want to stay kind while it's here. Please reflect this gently and help me practice non judgment. And those things, again, you don't even have to use this, y'all. It's not necessary. But I think it's kind of cool to know that if you just need a little bit of a support, you have one. So did anybody try this with the Amara yet?
Not yet. I didn't even know it was there.
Does it make sense how I just said it, how you use it?
Does that mean that you need to have another chat GPT? Like I just use chat now and again.
Yeah, that's fine. Like you don't need to buy. Like I've bought an account because I literally use it for everything. No, you can just use your normal chat account and just pull it up. And when as long as you have a free account, right, Marilyn?
Yes.
Yeah. So you put it in there, and then like I said, you might even just like label this, because what can happen, let me pull one up right now real quick. Chat GPT. Actually, let me pull one up on Here, let's just do one. Let's do one together. I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm going to do a chat in a private room so it won't pull from my. Okay, and then I'll screen share with you guys. Chat GPT. I'll show you, I'm just going to show you guys exactly how to use it.
Well, if you use it for other things and then you use it for this, how is it going to be working? Like,
yeah, so what happens, that's what I'm going to, let me just show you my screen here. Desktop. Okay, can you guys see my desktop?
yeah.
Okay, cool. So like I have ChatGPT open. And so this is, I'm going to type in my prompt here. Boom, there's my prompt. Actually, I'll probably just take that prompt 2 off. And then I'm going to put in, somebody give me a small judgment. Give me something I can put in there. Or I can make one up. It sounded like, I wish I was getting this. Sometimes I feel like I overthink these things. And it felt like a little overwhelming. And then I'm not trying to fix or remove this, boom. Then let's see what it says. I'm really glad you noticed it. That alone is awareness at work. You noticed a small tightening. You heard the thought, I wish I was getting this. You felt a little bit of overwhelm, and instead of trying to fix it, you chose to stay. Let's sit with it. There's a part of you that wants to understand. There's a part that worries you're making it too complicated. There's a small contraction in the body when the story shows up. None of this is a problem. It's a very human rhythm. Just soften it. Instead of thinking, I overthink these things, maybe there's some thinking happening. Instead of, I wish I was getting this, maybe part of me really wants clarity. Feel the difference. So, okay, so then you have this string here, which started right there. So you could ask, so the next time you put in like your next prompt, just put it right after this one. And like if you already have some prompts like for art or something, so this one I just started a new prompt. So like if you have I'll just go to my, no, I want to stay here because I have a paid version. Even with your, because I'm not even signed up at all, you'll see previous conversations that you've had. Do you see that on the left hand side? Usually that's where it is. Like it would show you maybe you've had art conversations, or I was talking about tax stuff the other day, tax conversations. So when I start a new one for this, then I'll actually rename this my like you are not broken prompts or you are not broken pauses. I'll name it something like that, and then I just keep putting these in this same string. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
I guess probably I use mine on my iPhone all the time instead of my laptop. So
That's why I do too. I use it like that too. But what happens even on your iPhone, let me just show you.
well, it doesn't give you the big picture like having a laptop, you know.
Okay, yeah, let me just show you guys. So on chat, here's my chat. When I click open the lines on the left-hand side, I have mine all in folders. Like it gives me the folders. But if I'm doing something brand new, I'll just put in a new chat right here, and then I would just save that with the title, and then I would just put everything under that. You may or may not have folders, but like you can see on your phone, like I was asking about when I had the flu, I was asking about ear stuff. I was asking about how my dog's feeling. So they're all right there. When you click on that left hand side, you should see everything that you've talked to it about.
I've never, anytime I've gone on, I just go on that day and ask what I want. I didn't know it was saved or could be saved.
It's only saved if you sign up for an account. And you can sign up for a free account, and you most certainly don't have to. I used it forever just exactly like that, Lorraine. Um but once I wanted to go ahead and be able to kind of organize my thoughts and keep stuff, then I created the free account. And then but I it only allows you to do it so much per day, and I was
Yeah.
using it more, so it was well worth me buying an account. But as long as you have a free account, you can still have everything labeled and keep everything organized.
Okay.
Did that help, Marilyn?
Yeah, I'm still not sure I'm going to use it, but
Yeah, and that's fine. You really do not have to. It's just for me, it is sometimes when I just feel like I need a little support. And a lot of times before I go to bed, I will kind of do a download. It's so funny into chat, and I'll do a little bit of a this is blah 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 blah. Please put this through the "You Are Not Broken" method of our effortlessness, and I'll just kind of put it through that, and it'll just give me this beautiful somatic pause at the end of the day. That's just a beautiful reminder. And now it's so funny. Again, I've trained it, and like anytime I ask any question, even about taxes, it's like, oh, love, you're doing this so beautifully from the place of effortless peace. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've created a beautiful monster, a chat monster. But you don't have to use it. This is just
Mhm.
if you feel like you want the extra support. If it feels like a burden, ditch it. Ditch it. Yeah? Does that help? How about you, Vicky? How are you? Do you get it? I don't know. Sometimes have
Yes.
you? Yeah. Have you tried it at all?
No, I haven't. I so far I've been avoiding using
It's
uh
fine.
yeah.
That's totally fine. Like seriously, I did it only if it feels easy and supportive to you, use it. But if you don't need it, don't don't use it at all.
Mm. Yeah, there was a time I was trying, as I said before, I was using Grok.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah, the thing is I would get frustrated because it would like keep going around in circles, and I would say, "No, I said I wanted this and you keep telling me this other thing." And after a while it's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
forget."
it can be frustrating. That's what I've definitely learned. Prompting and very, very detailed prompting is what works the best. That's why I kind of fed you guys some prompts that I spent a lot of time kind of working through because I wanted it to give me what I wanted it, right? But I trust me, I've gone in circles and then I've left chat and gone over to Grok and asked the same question, and Grok gave me the answer, and that somehow chat was in a loop for. But usually that's like when I'm trying technical software stuff for for computer programs.
So what
Um,
did you between the two? Which one seems to be?
I use chat almost 100% because I've already built such a language with it. It already has so much history within all of my category. And I mean, y'all, I'm the category queen. I have got just so many file folders that I'll put all my things in. So it's just so organized, it's not even worth me starting over. But if
Mm.
I get into a problem and I can't find something, I'll go over and just ask Grok. But I don't have a paid account with Grok.
Mm.
So, but I prompt very very well because I know that it can be very biased and just tell you what it wants to tell you. So I
Mhm.
definitely will always say I need you to push back. I don't need you to just give me what I want to hear. I need you to be a professional. Depends on what I'm doing. I need you to be a a professional marketer, and I need you to help me find the pain points of ABCD. Like I talk very very specific and have it do very specific things. And when I do that, like the output that it gives me that would have taken me days to find out really. So that's kind of how I use it. But for this stuff, it's really more just hey, late at night, if you just need a little subtle reminder about who you are, maybe it would be helpful. That's really all it is. But don't use it if it's not something that's super interesting to you. Yeah, yeah. Anybody else have any things on about today about the about either the AI stuff or just this?
Yeah, I wanted to share about the breathing.
Yeah.
Uh, because a few days ago, I realized that my breaths were normally shallow, and
Mm.
I didn't realize that until I heard something, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. My breaths are so shallow. And again, I realized that was part of my being hypervigilant. And
Mm.
so now I intentionally um, make my breath deeper and slower to remind myself I am safe. I don't have to anymore be in that vigilant state.
Wow, cool. Isn't that interesting too? Because I'm always saying, like, you don't have to change your breath, just breathe normally. But if that's the thing, is if we will just notice where we are right now, we will notice where we're doing something that feels like vigilance, like what you just said with your breath. Beautiful.
Mm.
I love that. So then, once that idea came, kind of like, oh, dancing is movement. So once that idea of breathing, just by noticing that, that helped you then create safety with your breath, right?
Mhm.
That's really cool. Like I just noticed, wow, I've been keeping it surface level, which felt like vigilance, and now I'm not. I'm actually safe to breathe in this moment, to experience this moment. I bet that helped you feel more present.
Yes, a lot. And now the thing is, I realized ever since I became more intentional about my breathing, I can relax more because
Mm.
um, when I wasn't, I noticed that my shoulders would tense up unconsciously,
Sure.
and now I catch myself like I can relax, and then so even my shoulders
Cool.
before, yeah. So
Very cool. It's so funny. When we will just notice what we're doing, we'll realize, oh, I'm sitting here all tense. And so we'll naturally, as we just notice, but yet if I was telling you, drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, no, we're just saying, just notice how you're supported. Let your jaw naturally fall. Let your shoulders just be. Breathe normally. And then it's like once our body realizes I'm safe, your body will naturally pull you into the breathing that is most beneficial for you, the posture that is most beneficial for you. That is because our bodies are so intelligent and our nervous system is so intelligent.
mhm.
Very cool. Who else? Anybody else want to share anything? You can even just share whatever or not. We're nearly at an hour. We can wrap it up or we can stay on if there's anything else that this next week is just more and more as we realize these things that we've been doing that have created realms that didn't feel safe as we're kind of backing up from those things we'll begin to see even our personality. We'll realize it's not hard set in stone. That's all I'm going to say.
It's not hard to what?
It's not set in stone.
Right.
So much of who we are that we thought, oh, this is just who I am, was simply rehearsed behavior.
Mm.
And
Right.
now, even as we've had just 4 weeks of, I'm asking you to do it so differently, you're going to realize there is a softness. there is a tenderness that's just different. Wow.
Mhm.
There's something that I didn't try to add, but it feels like is there, and it's unique and it's different, and I didn't do anything to get it. And that's the key, y'all. We are unlocking ourselves to our true original design, our truest nature. And that is peace that passes all understanding. That is, I have learned in whatever state I'm in, therewith to be content. That's the power moves, y'all. That
Mhm.
don't feel like power moves. Power moves want to take credit for stuff. And I'm like telling you, just notice how your chair feels. And like, who's going to get the credit? The chair? No, just the noticing.
Mhm.
We just get to.
Yeah.
You want to add anything, Lorraine?
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Something I'm thinking about, like in the past, like probably last year, I really, I really realized that you did certain things from infancy, toddlerdom, to protect yourself.
Yep.
And last year, I realized, I don't know, probably through God and everything helping me, that He's always been with me.
Yeah.
He was even there then, and like I don't need to still protect myself. you know,
Mhm.
I just,
Wow.
just so that helped. Like,
Beautiful.
and it does, it settles. And I see it too. Like, I have a cooler personality than I've been expressing all these years.
Ah, see,
I
that's
gonna, I'm gonna have it. I know it's there, but when the settledness, when you stop trying to, you know, fix things or strain to cause things to be
yeah,
like this or that.
yeah.
Um,
That's really good. Yeah, the feeling less pressure on yourself to perform, that begins to change stuff real quick. I
yeah,
almost like,
yeah,
go ahead.
and there is really a shift, like when you go, no, I'm perfect for this moment. And
Mm.
I've gotten this not just from you, but from my pastor and through this other woman, 20 something years ago, where they really got a revelation that we are, Christ already did it all. And we're not trying to get anything. He already did it all, not us. And when you step into that, there's just a change. Like,
Yeah,
you're not trying anymore to do anything. He already did it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just was taken 2 years ago to Christmas. I was with a bunch of kids, and one of the kids do what boy kids do. He was on something and fell off, and just his arm was definitely bent the way it was not supposed to be bent. It was bad. It was a bad break. He's screaming his head off. They the ER comes, they take him to the hospital, and he gets a cast, right? And I know there were moments where that thing hurt. Ooh, it did. Um, but once he got home and he had the cast, he was the coolest. All the kids were like, "Oh my God, it's blue. Can I sign it?" And like everybody's signing it and it's blue. And that kid, I watched him the next 5 days while I was still there, just do everything, ride his motorbike, do everything with that arm that had pins in it, that had a cast on it. And all I know is he went on his life and didn't even let that be a thing. But then when that cast came off, his arm was new. It was not broken, it was not shattered. Something happened that he could not see on the outside. And I feel like that's really what's going on here, right? Like
Mm.
things are happening, and maybe we're just learning to notice for the first time,
Yes.
right?
It's like your thing says, we're not broken. That's the
Mm.
truth.
Yes, yes.
There you go. There you
We're
go.
not broken.
We're not broken. I knew that. It's so funny because that's kind of a long name and it's not really catchy, but I knew that was the name of this program because I wanted even the name to be telling the truth. Period. Yeah, it's so good. So good.
After hearing for so many years that there was something wrong with me, now I can say there's nothing wrong with me.
Ooh, girl. Come on.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Yeah,
can.
it's like taking the one of the things that Lynn Alford would teach, that she got the revelation from God, where you're fine. You don't need. It's like that old man is dead, and she's like, we carry that old man around as if it's alive, like it needs to be, you know.
Mm.
And it's just weight, and it's
Yeah.
just, and it's not the truth.
Yeah. Kind of where this started in me, for years I've been teaching our union with God. And I would teach it like this. Wesley's heard this a lot at Seek Church. I would teach it. It's like, if I believe that, let's pick an old Aaron thing. If I believe that I am not worthy because my body is not perfect, I've not been I have not exercised or eaten the way I should, whatever. I have to create I have to create an Aaron that is broken, that isn't good enough, doesn't measure up, because I am Aaron who's behind the thoughts. I'm not my thoughts. Aaron is perfect. Aaron is truly perfect for this moment. And I have to create this subpar mirage of
Right. Yeah.
somebody to put shame on. And and that's why depression feels so crappy, because
Mm,
that's not who you are. You're having to
mm,
create an alternate modality of survival of here, and they're not congruent. So then what happens? You feel depressed, you feel overwhelmed, because that's not me. It's not me.
mm.
That's why I know this is so key. And I've seen people, I won't even talk to people really hardly about depression, because I know if I talk enough about this, I'm going to talk them into believing who they really are. Then what I'm going to get next is so weird. Like, I haven't even been depressed in like a week. I'm like, really? Because
Yeah.
that's really, it's trust, right? We're trusting God, and we're learning that we can trust us. That's a big,
Yeah.
especially if you were told for many years that you're not trustworthy, there's something wrong with you were
Mm.
overlooked, you were kind of pushed off to the back. So years, we're talking, gosh, decades of the wrong messaging. Even though we're not judging it anymore, right? We're not judging it.
Hmm. Yeah.
We're just saying it was what it was, and I'm here where I am now.
Yeah.
I'm here where I am.
And I see, like, as you're saying that too, like judging ourselves where we're at. I love that you say that. We're not, we're not behind. We're not. But I see, like, I've judged myself in my job for all these years, and I've had this job for over 35 years, and it's like, you know what? It's a God-given position, and you know,
God given
we're
position.
we're the power, like the power of the universe dwells in me, and
Yeah,
this is what I'm doing. It doesn't mean that I'm less than, or you know more than, or something else would be better. No, I mean, this is what I chose,
yeah,
and it's fine. I don't have to judge it.
right.
Right.
I love it.
And he hasn't even judged it. I mean, like, he gave me this job, and then I've just learned on the job how to do what I do, but I never went to school for it.
Yeah,
And I've never gone to like get better credentials. And when and over the years I've known it, like, you're not going to be able to have this job forever. What are you going to do next? And he's never, ever encouraged me to go get better credentials for this job. And even when I was losing this job because my boss was retiring after 34 years of working for him, um, God's like, make a quilt for your niece. I was like, are you kidding me?
I
Are
love it.
you kidding me? I mean, it takes so much time to make a quilt. I mean, a lot of hours. And I was like, I never could make money doing this. I could never make enough money doing it for what I'm making. Um, but he's like, make a quilt. I was like, seriously,
Perfect.
which I did.
I love it.
But you know what? He opened the door for a new job, and I was nervous because I learned on my job how to do what my boss needed,
Yeah, sure.
and I didn't get any more skills. But you know what? In the new job, a lot of those skills I had do translate,
I love it.
but but I didn't know that, and it's still fine.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Bravo. Well, I did go get credentialed. I started my interior design business. Well, I was already doing it before I started school. And I did get credentialed, and I didn't learn one daggum thing. I was already doing it way better than 90% of the people that were teaching it. So there you go. And nobody ever asked for my credentials. So just in case,
You
learning
know
on
what?
the job is hands down.
You know what? Dumb thoughts that we have that this is the way it works and this is what I have to do,
Yep.
Mm.
Oh,
and it's not true.
it's not true.
But follow the inner witness.
Yeah.
When you pause
Yeah.
and you realize I'm perfect the way I'm perfect for this moment,
That's exactly right.
we actually know
We do.
what to do.
Uh-huh.
We do. We do.
Right. That's right.
It's fear that wants us to feel like, oh, we're not enough and we didn't do enough and we didn't learn enough or we didn't. And fear that wants us, but fear is because we're really powerful. I mean, I'm getting this more and more as we do this. Like,
Good.
we're really powerful.
So,
Like,
I mean,
and
we're
fear doesn't want you to step out and do something,
right.
Right.
right? And like, oh, I'm not good enough, it'll be judged. And it's like, well, that's just not,
Yeah.
yeah.
This program started off, gosh, years ago as Girls with Superpowers. And it was it was perfect. It was so good, but I wasn't addressing the nervous system. And when I really began to look at what I had built, and it was beautiful, but I just didn't see. I looked at myself and I was like, but what is it that made you realize how powerful you were? And it wasn't all of the I am statements. It wasn't, those are awesome. I love all of that. I'm down for all of that. But when I really began to accept this present moment as perfect and accept me, and even if you need to do it at 60-second increments, I'm perfect for this moment. And when you will realize there's not one thing else in the world that needs to happen for this moment to be perfect.
Mm.
There's something that switches in your body, your nervous system, in your mind that makes, okay, if I can be perfect for this moment, I wonder what it would look like to be perfect at 7:41. Maybe I could be perfect for that moment too. And then, I mean, you're not even really thinking about it, but when you so ingrain yourself with, I don't need to do anything, just let it register. I'm perfect for this moment. And you, next thing you know, you realize, oh, I'm perfect for every moment.
Amen.
Every
Yeah.
moment is actually perfect because I'm in it. That's kind of the like, that's the next
Yeah.
place of like, yeah,
Hmm.
heck yeah.
Hmm.
And we'll talk how this transfers into creativity and business and our jobs. We'll talk about that in a few weeks. Clearly, I am in no rush to leave ourselves right now. We've heard a lot of the hype messages. We've heard how to pump ourselves up. But this is different. We are setting ourselves up for such beautiful success in every area of our life, for creating wealth, for friendship, for love, for romance. I've said this, but I'll say it again. When I rebranded and I really was able to look at my life and look at even my relationships, my relationship with the sweet man that I was dating for 3 years. But when I really let myself be perfect for this moment and ask myself some really key questions, it made me realize he's wonderful and kind and beautiful and a great guy, but it wasn't a partnership that was benefiting me, right? And so I began to be okay with wanting more out of partnership. And then I began to look at even what I was doing in other things. And then, yes, health. I began to look at health and go, okay, because I know there's some people here that have battled incredible diseases, incredible even with the frustration of weight gain, weight loss, just the stress on our bodies. And I'm just telling you, I mean, what happened to me over the last, like, I had some big hits, y'all. I had this incredible earache that took me to the ER. Then I turned around right after that and got the flu. Like, it seemed like, what is going on? But I'm telling you, I didn't judge it. I didn't go, why is all this happening? Right? What's going on? No, but I was able to sit with myself, love me in the midst of it, not need to define what was going on. Why is this happening? No, every time I put myself in the place of I'm perfect for this moment, I accept this. This is just part of my story. My body begins to soften. And when your body begins to soften, your nervous system begins to let go, and your body begins to remember that it was created to heal itself. Your body was created for divine health. You weren't picked early on and, God said, Marilyn's going to go through this and have, she's going to have to endure this and my healing's not. No, like your body was created to heal itself 100% of the time. All we're doing is we're giving it that safe place to do its job. That's it. We're just remembering ourselves to the truth of divine health. And I'm with you in it. Like I'm with you in this. Does that help?
My body's worn out.
Yeah,
Let's put it that way.
I know, babe.
And so therefore, I'm asking the question,
Mhm.
how do I guess turn that around? I don't know how to say it. I just say, how do I get out of this feeling that it made me not turn around?
Yeah, babe. Can we just hold that feeling right now? And the turnaround, love, is at your core. There has been a long time belief of my body's worn out. I may have exceeded. I may have hit a patch where it's not going to go back from here. And it doesn't help when you're like what you did today. I mean, you did the really hard thing today. You helped move. You completely transitioned somebody from one home to another. So you're tired. You're physically tired. But what if it's just tiredness and not I am broken or I am worn out? What if it's, could we turn it? Could we take the weight off of I feel exhausted all the time. I feel broken. I feel like there's something wrong with me. I don't feel
Well,
like
it's not that. It's okay. I do have problems with my spine. Okay. And that is not changing. And so therefore there's weakness.
sure.
I don't really feel like getting into this,
You don't have to, love. You don't have to.
but it's just a feeling that, okay, how do I get on top of this?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, and getting on top of it means you go work out and get your back strong,
Yeah.
you know, and so that is doing what you say not to do.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, you said you're not choosing to have to fix yourself there because, okay, I'm not going to get any better until I do this.
Right. But let me just offer a subtle perspective change. For example, Lorraine feeling like probably if I would just move and get out and exercise, things would be better. She went and let herself be, and then that the solution of, oh, dancing could be my way of moving. Instead of saying I need to fix myself by dancing, the solution came from accepting where she was in that moment. And so my question is it possible to even embrace that feeling of, okay, I know I should do this? Like, there's nothing wrong with working out, and there's nothing wrong with doing the things that will help our bodies. But if it feels like work and striving and you're doing it from a place of performance, your nervous system is still in strive and struggle and work mode.
I guess
So,
I'm not getting the difference. You know,
yeah,
when I tell myself, okay, if you want to get your back stronger, you better start working on it. How do you, how do I put it into the language you're
yeah.
talking?
So, but let me say that back to you and tell me if that sounds like vigilance. If you
I
want,
don't know.
well, no, but I'm gonna say it back to you. So, because how I hear it is, if you want to get better, then you're gonna need to do this. And the opposite is, otherwise you're never gonna get better. So, how does that sounds like vigilance to me, right?
Yeah.
Right? And so that immediately puts you in mode. Well, I don't want to do that, right? Like, you may not be saying that. Maybe you really do want to do that, but there's something in you that's creating a wall in between you actually doing it, doing the thing that would be helpful. And so, what would it be like to accept where you are exactly as you are? What would it be like to, okay, I'm going to love my spine. I'm going to, and I'm not even asking you to love it right now because I feel like that's a lot of effort. What would it be like to just be perfect for this moment, even with my spine? Okay, yes, has your spine caused you a weakness? Does it feel like it keeps you unable to do the things you want to do? Probably not even feel. It just causes you not to be able to do the things you want to do, right?
Yeah.
So even in those moments, what I'm just asking is, even in those moments, could you accept it exactly as it is? Could you just say, okay, even right now, ugh, I'm accepting you exactly as you are. I'm telling you that you're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. I'm even going to choose to put compassion on this body part, on this spine that, yes, it's caused me all this, but if I could let go of the judgment of it, if I could not need to know why it's happening, if I could take the judgment off of that spine, could I help put it in a place of letting go to let my body heal it? I'm just saying, could we hit it with a different angle?
Yeah.
That's good messaging either, because that still sounds like, but do you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I think I understand what you're saying because, yeah, there is something that's, yeah.
It's like, if you tell me that, if you come up to me and you're just like, Erin, for the love, go do this, go work. If you'll just go lift weights an hour a day and run 3 miles, you're never even going to think about this body stuff ever again. If you just come up to me and tell me that, I'm going to be like, I'm going
Get
to,
lost.
yeah, get lost. And I'm going to probably want to kick you in the shin. But if you love me and you're like, hey, I know you've been kind of going after some stuff, can I offer a couple of options that put me in a place of being able to receive differently than just telling me what to do, right? I feel like we've just put our body in this war where we just basically yell at it and are mad at it all the time, and our nervous system is tense and it's hanging on and it's squeezing tight, and it's like, do I let go, do I hold on, do I let go, do I hold on, oh my god, I don't know what to do. When what would happen if you so surrounded, and we're doing that with you even right now, even in this conversation, so surrounded your spine with unconditional acceptance and love right now by just noticing the chair you're sitting in. Then, when something comes that says, "Hmm, I wonder, I wonder if I did some stretching before I got out of bed. I wonder if that would help." All of a sudden, something comes to you, and you're like, I don't know that I would have heard that yesterday. But maybe there's some stretches that actually would help before I ever got out of bed that maybe start start you on a roll. It doesn't mean you're not going to fix, you're not going to add things to your life that enhance your spine, but it's not because you're broken and it's not because you need to be fixed. I'm not trying to demand that you do something to get better. It's coming from, oh, I went and danced and I had a really good time, and the thought came to me, oh, movement could look like dance for me. And I believe the same thing will happen to you, love, as you've just carried this pressure for a really long time because it's resulted in pain, in a lot of tears, and a lot of frustration. Because you can't do the things that you want to do. Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm
Well,
just,
you have to remember I have 30 years on you.
I know, girl. I know, which is nobody would believe because you don't even look at, my gosh. And I just refuse. Like, people are like, oh, everything starts changing when you hit 55. And I'm like, well, don't even tell me that stuff. That does not have anything to do with me. No way, man. But I have to know that this works wherever we are. I know it. I mean, I know it does. Your body has been in vigilance for a really long time. And it's okay. It was doing the best it could do. You didn't know. You didn't know that you could unconditionally accept where it is right now and unconditionally love in a way that would bring solutions and bring healing, as your body would naturally begin to feel safe and go, okay, whoa, I can get back into healing mode and not stay in defensive mode. That's what's happening.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, I wish I would have put my record on.
Well, no, I'll upload this whole thing.
Okay.
Yep. I'll, for these, for the Connect, I don't delete anything. So I'll put this up there.
Okay.
So, all right. How's that? Is that good? Shall I let you guys go? I know we're a little long, but it's fine with me. Anybody
We never hear from Wesley. He's just sitting back there laughing at us.
No, he's not. He works really hard in the city, and
I'm not laughing at all. This is late for me. I want to go to bed at 7 and I wake up really early in the morning.
Mm.
So because of it, half the time I feel like I'm not absorbing any of it. But what happened, because the words that have been thrown around, they have no place to stick into my brain. And it wasn't until today that I heard vigilance, but my mind had to say hypervigilance because I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe there's something there, but I don't even know what that means. So I have to find a dictionary to look it up
right.
because none of this has made any sense to me none of it's made any sense. The language that we're using is it doesn't have a place to stick in my brain. So I have to figure out what is this language. But vigilance was that's like a crack in this misunderstanding wall, I think, that I need to
Mm,
go back and what are all these words? Safety. They have no frame of reference to stick.
mm. I think, part of it, Wes, is we still have this need to understand. And part of this is really felt, right? It's and I hear you. Like I totally hear you. And thanks for saying that. Thank you for
Well,
Yeah.
I get on the call and then I start getting depressed
oh,
because I don't know what the hell we're talking about. And the words make no sense. And then people are like, "Oh, this is so fucking fantastic. I love it." Oops. I just said bad words on the recording. Oh no.
It's
Terrible.
okay, Wes.
all good.
Thank you for sharing, Wes, because I understand your need to understand because that's the struggle I've been struggling with. Like,
It makes no sense. I don't know what people are talking about. And then people are like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. It's wonderful. I'm like, what are we talking about? And I definitely know the struggle. I mean, for me to walk from Port Authority bus station to my office on 35th Street, it's a challenge. And I think to myself, I'm dying. And I don't want to die yet. But on the way home, sometimes I'm like, oh man, I just want to die.
Yeah.
So I hear your struggle, and what Aaron said, I think was good. And like I said, I think maybe a crack open in the wall for me with just the word vigilance. Now I have to go back and look at all the other words. Like last on Tuesday, I was so lost
Oh,
because it seemed like there was these this word went to this word went to this word and I had no understanding of what those points that we were trying to connect were.
mm.
It couldn't even sink into any place of my understanding, and we have to understand something.
Yeah, no, for sure. Have you been able to look at the PDFs? Has that
Well, it's
helped at all?
I finally figured out that I could forward them to my work computer. But so I have like 30 that, or however many that I need to print out, but there's never any time at work to do that. But on
Yeah.
Fridays, my boss is at work. So I think tomorrow, and I'm pretty caught up with some stuff, I'm going to print out all that stuff.
Let me the biggest deal, and that's why I keep saying, y'all, even if you don't feel like you're getting it, I promise you, just by being here and listening, things are happening. I promise you. And that's why I'm actually not trying to add a bunch of new things. I'm always starting from week one and bridging it. And I
Yeah,
just,
but I get that. But you understand, Aaron, we went from Christianese.
oh,
Then we went to the science people and we could track it, we could understand it. Then we went to love, honor, all these other terms. And then now all of a sudden we're talking these words with the reference points, they really don't make sense yet. So I have to go back and look.
yeah. Well, the thing is, don't leave love. And the reason why we're building up is because so many people can't even start with the love part. We've got to let our nervous system be okay with exactly where we are, even if there's not love. And I realized how so much I was almost trying to cram love down people's throats and they weren't ready for it. And so don't, it's like it's just okay, like it's just okay. And this is good. That's what I thank you for talking and thank you for saying this. But just know, like, for example, one of the things that we talked about on Tuesday is how judgment, I think we can all know when we've had self judgment, right? Like how
Oh, I
judge,
live there.
yeah,
That's
like
why it's hard to hear because I'm judging my understanding. I'm judging what the hell does that word mean? What are we
right,
talking about? That's all judgment.
like judgment, and it tightens, right? It tightens the
Well,
body.
I don't know if it tightens for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just so damn tight that I don't know.
Well, that's where the vigilance comes in. The tightening becomes, I need to do this better. I need to fix. I need to, why am I not getting this? That's the vigilance. It's repeated pressure. And that pressure then begins to feel like, oh my God, is that just who I am? Is this just who I am? No, it's just part of what you practiced. And it's okay. But now we're just introducing a new practice to let safety. And what does safety mean? Safety means just not leaving yourself when it feels crappy. Safety just means,
Yeah, but
could
then
I?
you have to go, do I leave myself? Then you're in analysis paralysis again. I mean, how do we make these terms visible to ourselves to know that we're doing it?
Yeah. Well, and again, I don't even think it doesn't need to be analyzed. It's just taking
Well,
notes throughout the day.
but you hear what I'm
Oh,
saying.
I do
It goes, your mind goes right there.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Because I've heard what you've said. We don't have to get it. We don't have to understand it. It's going to get in there. So I've been like, okay, okay, okay.
Well, the thing is your body, I promise you, your body is learning what it trusts. It is. And when we will kind of recognize, okay, what have I been repeating? Am I repeating that I have a problem? Like there's something wrong with me? Am I repeating that I want to die? Like, then if we'll just notice where we are, and I'm not even trying to get you to change any of that. Could you just notice that you're supported in one moment? Could you notice what it feels like to sit in this chair and be supported? Could even that feeling of support, which doesn't feel like much, could that help soften me? Could that let my body relax a little bit? Could softening, could that create a softening? Could that allow me to stay with me and not abandon myself and just be mad at myself for not getting something or for not changing or for not losing the weight or not having the pain or the sickness or disease anymore?
Or eating a box of crackers and a block of cheese while this meeting was going on.
But what if that's okay? If that's
Yeah, that's one of those things I'm finding. Like, I'm not judging myself for things like that. Like, I'm not judging myself that I ate 6 cookies in a row. You know, instead of just the 3 I set out. No, it's okay.
I'm just knowing that we've judged ourselves for so long and it has not worked out well for us because the body learns what it trusts. And so if it learned a judgment realm, then it's constantly going to be tight, whether you feel it or not. It is in work mode all the time because it's trying to accommodate your judgment, my judgment. It tightens because it doesn't believe the truth, it just believes what we repeat. And so
Which could be the reason why I go to the emergency room every for like 5 or 6 months and they tell me nothing's wrong.
there's a good possibility that's come from vigilance. And what is vigilance? Vigilance is just staying with judgment, right? It's where judgment felt protective. Like judgment, like I'm protecting you with this judgment. And it even feels kind of stable. And I'm saying, guess what? You can let go of the judgment.
And judgment is something that we've been exploring for a while, but
Long.
this is taking a whole nother turn
It is.
because I can recognize when I'm walking in the streets of Manhattan that you idiot, you can't type on your cell phone and walk at the same time. So there's the judgment of everybody that you have to walk by just getting to your office.
Yeah.
And then the people at work, that doing the same thing. They're not watching where they're going.
Yeah.
So that's that judgment we get. and
Yeah.
we learn to, but the judgment now that we're talking about here is a whole Pandora's box.
Oh yeah, it's become so our nature. It's felt like who we are. And the only reason I even said the word neuroplasticity is because you'll hear it somewhere other place and be like, "Wait, what?" But it's totally don't even worry about it. It's just it's something
Well,
that's
I appreciate that because that's a concept I understand.
yeah.
Whereas the concepts that you're giving, they're not taking me to something that I understand that I can attach. Yeah, you hear what I'm saying, even though the words aren't common.
Yeah. Just know that I said this on Tuesday. When the body feels less under threat, different decisions will feel available. All I'm doing is trying to help encourage us into a realm where our body feels less under threat, where we could, where safety within ourselves could be so natural and we don't have to be in fight or flight all the time, which we don't even realize that we are, right? And so just by saying, looking, okay, where is there even a tiny bit of safety in there that you can feel? Where's some, like when you just recognize, especially when your body is in pain, when your body, like when I was really hurting, and I mean, I had to work to find something that didn't hurt. And I had to, because I knew that my body needed, it needed some help from me to love it because it was, I was in pain, I was sick, I didn't understand. And so I had to go, okay, where do I feel even 1% safe? What can I latch onto? How can I major on that thing that's minor so that it can become the major? I'm telling you, I did that every day and was able to let go of judgment in ways that I never had before.
Can you give me an example of what you meant when you did that?
Yeah. Like, for example, when I had the major earaches and I was having to be on every kind of painkiller there was every 6 hours, when it felt like everything hurt, like when you have nerve pain, I don't know if you guys have ever had shingles or ear nerve stuff, but it's like pain medication doesn't really help. It kind of takes the edge off a tiny bit, but it would feel like I was being tortured. And I don't do pain well, so there's that. I can kind of be a little bit of a wussy wuss girl. But I had to, even though I was laying in bed and trying not to just cry because I knew that would make it worse, I had to find areas. This was me being real practical. I had to find areas within my body that I could attach to that weren't painful. And it was really hard to find anything at the moment. And at one point, I had to just look at my skin and just, I put my hand on my arm and I just began to just feel the safety of my skin. It was the one thing that I could find at the time. And I just began to just notice and just think about and be grateful. I stepped into major gratitude. I began to be grateful for my skin. And even though there are flaws all over my skin, but I didn't think about any of the flaws. I didn't think about anything. I just was noticing my skin from head to toe, and I shifted my notice to that, and that's what would help me. All of a sudden, I would realize, oh, I was not connected to the pain, and the pain would have disappeared. So I practiced it a lot because I was really struggling with pain. I would practice just noticing 1 or 2% an area that wasn't in pain. And I would realize, oh, I could kind of dive into that space. And what happens is we're teaching our body that I know you were created to heal itself. I'm giving you space to do that. But yet I'm wanting us to know that this is not This is not this big, huge rigmarole. It is just, it's not effort, it's embodiment, right? It's recognition. The body is learning what it trusts by us. And sometimes it's growing quietly.
I
And
think I think for me it's a change of mind, I guess, because when you're my age, it feels like things have worn out,
Mhm.
and it's like, how do I um go back to not being worn out?
Sure. Sure. So what does that look like to have without without knocking, okay, you've had all these bad thoughts. We're not doing that. Like with no judgment. What is one new thought that you could introduce that could just feel effortless?
Yeah,
And
I understand what you're saying. And because I've probably been doing all of what you have talked about today, um, I'm going to have to sit with this and re-engage with how am I going to start speaking to myself?
yeah, yeah. And that's what these moments are for. And I'm so, again, thank you guys for your honesty and in sharing, because we're all on this. There's a reason why we're all here, is because we've been doing it this one way. We just maybe didn't even really know how we were doing it for so long. And now, yeah, I'm introducing something that is not wildly mainstream. In fact, I've only heard a few people like, and I haven't really even only heard a few people really talking about this.
Well, social media now, because of this, probably all I'm getting is kind of buzzwords that you're talking about.
Okay, cool. Well, and that's the thing is, this isn't this isn't some newfangled method. It's our original design. That's what we have to realize. I'm asking us to come home. I'm not trying to create.
Yeah, the nervous system is everywhere for me in my feeds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Me too. Me too.
Yeah, nervous system, and I've never seen it ever
Oh yeah. Yeah.
until
Well, yeah.
until like yeah,
Yeah.
since we started this.
Funny how
You,
that works. Yeah.
you know why? It's because your phone tracks you.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Social media picks up on it.
Yep. Yep. But the attention to yourself. Let me just ask this, Wes. Could you, because you've heard me say I'm perfect for this moment. We've talked about this for years, right? Does that make sense to take moments throughout the day to just let it be about this 160 seconds where I am absolutely perfect?
Well, that's not a problem. I do that.
Okay.
It's like I said, the disconnect for me was we're not supposed to think about anything, but this word links to this word, links to this word. And I was like, I don't know what any of those words mean.
Yeah.
So
Well,
how are we not supposed to think about it when I don't even understand what we're talking about?
and I think I know what you're talking about. I'm going to pull that up. I know exactly which part you were talking about that. And I was doing that for just a matter of helping us see the progression. But let me just I'm pulling that up.
And
Was
there
it,
were like four things that you were talking about, four
yeah,
different strains of this leads to this. And I'm like, what? I don't even know what these words mean or how they're linked together.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hold on, I'm pulling that up because I want to bring clarity to that. Okay. Are you talking about when I was talking about the full contrast where the pressure pathway versus the safety pathway?
Yes, and there were two things on one side and two things on the other.
Yeah. So, for example, then only the reason, because I'm wanting us just to look that there's a different, our body was created for a safety, right? And so a pressure pathway, what I said was judgment, then moves into contraction, which is like, oh, which then will take us into hypervigilance to get out of the contraction, which then that becomes familiarity, which then ends up feeling our identity, which is why my identity feels like I'm a stressed out, OCD, crazy woman, which is what I used to be. And if I, so am I, is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So a pressure pathway is when judgment comes, there's a subtle contraction inside of my nervous system. Then that sends me into fix, vigilance, hypervigilance, which then feels like, oh, well, this is just my normal. This is what I clearly have to do to survive my life. It becomes my identity. And so then the contrast is a safety pathway is in safety, I'm perfect for this moment. I don't have to change anything. I'm going to accept me fully exactly as I am. I'm going to accept my spine, my body, my heart exactly as it is. And there's a softening. And when there's a softening, we stay. We don't have to abandon ourselves when we don't feel awesome. There's a staying, and that staying then creates trust, and that becomes an identity that's locked into safety. And so I was just using that to show you the contrast of a pressure pathway that's led by judgment versus where we started in the beginning, that you're not actually broken. There's nothing wrong with you right now. What would happen if we reminded our minds and our body and our thought to the fact that, could I love me exactly as I am? That I'm not even trying to get you to have to do that yet. I'm not even trying to force love on you. Just could we create, or could we be safe and not leave ourselves? And that's where I was just saying, that's where your identity was never fixed. It was practiced. We practiced judgment because we just didn't know any better. And we still have a tendency, unless we are kind of intentional, which is why I'm doing this, unless we're intentional with this, then that judgment is that's the pressure pathway, and that's where identity is then locked into. Does that help explain that a little bit more?
It does. It does.
And you may not need that contrast, right? Like the language of this.
Well, it made me go into analysis process. Am I doing that?
Oh,
What does that mean?
no.
I don't know what the, am I, yeah.
Yeah. And that's where I want you to know, yeah, so we practice stuff under pressure. We did for years. We have been for decades, right? And we practice we become what we practice. So what we're doing is I'm trying to show us without force how we can become what we practice in safety. And safety sometimes means, whether I understand it or not, I'm going to accept this moment. I'm not waiting for me to be perfectly healthy. I'm not waiting for me to get all this down. Could I not abandon myself? Could I be perfect in this present moment, really, without judgment? And the more I practice those moments without judgment, it will become my second nature. And then to the point where when a judgment comes, it'll almost shock you. Like, where did that come from? I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't have those judgments on myself. That's what I've been experiencing. And that's embodiment. When the thing that used to be so normal all of a sudden shocks you, you realize, oh, okay, this is working. This is happening in me. But don't get too caught up in the words that, and again, I'll take ownership of that. And that's why I'm so glad you guys, that's why I have this night, is so that you can ask. And if that language right there doesn't help you, move past that. Listen, the brain reorganizes around repeated experience. Let's just make it real simple. That's neuroplasticity. So what are we repeating? Are we repeating, I'm broken? I'm at a certain age where things are broken. This happens at a certain age. My body has done this. Is that our repeat? because our body will reorganize around our most dominant belief about ourselves. It does not reorganize around what you want, it reorganizes around what you repeatedly experience.
Really,
Don't let that be shameful.
that's a good explanation. Thank you.
You're
That's very good and very helpful.
good. Yeah, Lorraine.
Oh, at Marilyn, if you don't mind, I just wanna, because I could see like I've had those beliefs too, and those feel like heavy and like they can't, something can't change, and it's always gonna be like this, or it's gonna get worse and worse. But just a few thoughts on that. Like Scripture does say that like Caleb took a mountain at 80, and he felt like a 40-year-old man, and like um Moses didn't wear out. He wasn't tired. He went home at 120 because God said it's time for you to come home. So, in the scripture too that says, I will, those who hope in the Lord, they will run and not go weary. They will walk and not faint. So even the idea, I mean, I get it, but when we have that idea that I have to be worn out, I'm getting worn out, and that's where it's, that's
I don't think
not
it's that
actually, that's a judgment.
I don't think it's that I have to be worn out. It's that it is feeling that way. And so therefore, how am I going to manage this?
Yeah.
And also knowing all the promises that you just cited and you can't touch it is so discouraging.
What do you mean can't touch? Oh, you feel like you can't?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Moses, his
Is
eyes
that,
never grew dim. I might have to have cataract surgery. I've been
well,
confessing this for my whole life. What's wrong with me that I'm having to do this? So I hear what you're saying, but
yeah.
it pulls up frustration because we have been there. We've
Yeah.
believed the promises. We've believed that we will walk and not grow weary. We grew up on it. We ate it. We say it, and yet it's not our reality.
Well,
Yeah, I want to
go ahead.
suggest, like Aaron is talking about accepting us where we're at and loving where we're at.
Yes,
I
that's
mean,
what we get
there's
that, and
nothing,
that's what
there's
we're
nothing,
doing. I'm
there's
just
nothing,
saying that
yeah, there's nothing wrong
the
with having
Christian
cataract
answers that we've
surgery.
had in the past, they accuse us.
Well, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
I hear your point too, Wesley, there that can feel accusatory. It's just that I've had times when I've been feeling those pressures, and then somebody has said something that switched me around, that's saying, no, no, this is not forever and can't be changed.
Yeah, I get that, and that's why I appreciate what
And
Aaron
also
is
like
teaching us
that.
because it's taking away of this Christianese kind of language, so that it's palatable and we can take the judgment off of ourselves. I mean, I hear what you're really trying to say because I say these things to myself. I say it in the shower. I've said it for years.
Mhm. It's
And
okay to
yet
have cataract surgery.
when I walk to my office, I'm like going, "Oh my God, am I dying? Do I need to go to the emergency room again?"
Hmm.
And y'all, this is why I created this right here. Because we've been doing so many of the right things for so long, and I still haven't seen, I don't like this word, but I'm going to use it, the breakthrough necessarily. I don't like that word because that insinuates that there's something wrong with you. And as I realized, you asked me, Wes, like, where did this come from? Well, as I really sat down with what was in my heart, really at the core of love, I had to go, why did all of this come? Why did this change? And so much of this I've been doing for years and I just had no language for it. But yet I would have these moments where I felt like I was grasping it, but then I would go backward. I would just keep going backward. And that's usually when the Christianese stuff came in, or I tried to be disciplined enough to work it out. And so again, I go back to, here's the most important part. The brain does not reorganize around what we want. It reorganizes around repeated experience. So repeated fear strengthens fear pathways. Repeated calm strengthens calm pathways. So I'm just asking, without judgment, what are we repeating?
Yeah, I get that.
Judgment, yeah, strengthens vigilance.
But even the fear, putting it in the terms of fear, uh, yeah, I think that's one of the things that have been talking to me too much.
Yeah. And with that fear, what if it's okay? Could you even accept fear? I know this goes against what most of us have been taught, but to be able to go, okay, can I, in those moments when fear comes, can I, in that moment, go, okay, could I accept even this feeling of fear that I have? Could I accept it? Yes. And I will let the words yes come out of my mouth. Could I accept how I feel right now, this fear? This is scary. Could I accept this? Yes. And I will watch my body, my nervous system begin to release. And I will say yes as long as I need to until I can say, could I even love this right now? Could I love this feeling of fear? Because what does love do? Love casts out fear. So I'm
That
letting,
I don't get that one. I'm sorry.
no, I understand. It's well, because could I, if love is the thing that does the work for me, could I love how I feel? Could I be so perfect in this moment that even this feeling of fear, otherwise what's my other option? Rebuke it, yell at it, rebuke me for having it, feel condemned for having it. Why are you letting fear still come, Aaron? Come on, you know better than this. That all goes back to, let me get back into the judgment cycle, which strengthens vigilance. I need to be hyper vigilant against this. So, in what I'm doing when I'm repeating safety, I'm saying, even when I have fear, okay, fear comes, it comes. Fear isn't actually the thing, it's the fear of the thing, it's the thought of the thing. Well, I'm not my thoughts, I am the one thinking my thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm the boss of my thoughts, I'm the CEO of my thoughts. So I'm just telling you what I do. I'll go, if fear comes in, I used to be like, okay, how can I fix this? If it had to do with money, especially money, okay, I need to do this, blah, 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 blah. And I would go into work strive mode. Now, none of that. Don't even think about that anymore. If a hint of fear comes in, I will immediately go, okay, could I accept this feeling right now? Could I accept you? Because the fact is it's already happening. It's whether I accept it or not, it is my reality at that moment, right? So by
And
me,
to me, Aaron, that is, I can get the softening part because I've heard this teaching we've many times. And so
yeah,
loving yourself leads to the softening.
but you just have to recognize, y'all, that the softening is healing your body. It may not feel huge in this moment, but the more and more we reorganize our pathway into the softening, we are letting our body do its job to heal itself. When we stay in vigilance, in hypervigilance, I need to work, I need to fix, I need to do something. Wow, what do I do? Then we keep our body in a stress pattern, in a judgment pattern that contracts. That is not a healing environment. What I'm trying to do is we're trying to just pump little bits of oxygen into this water and give it life. Because everything about you was created for perfection. Everything about you was created for healing. What are we doing? Could I even love the fear? Yeah. Choose to love fear. And my illustration, y'all may have heard this, Wes probably has, but I Simone Biles fear. I Simone Biles it. Like Simone Biles, when she's running towards that big thing that she has to have this jump thing. What is that called? The jumpy thing. She has to have that jumpy
Hurdle?
yeah, the jumpy thing before she gets to the big
Oh, yeah, I
thing.
don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? She has to hit this springboard, a springboard. And that springboard gives her the ability to flip off this huge hurdle. If she could run as good as she is, if she ran and didn't have that springboard, she couldn't do all the flips off of the hurdle. So to me, now, if fear comes, I've decided you're my springboard. I'm going to use you. I'm going to use you to do flips off this hurdle. I'm not going to, now it's not, oh, resist, get rid of the fear. No, I accept it and I love it and I use it. Where does this propel me next? It's a subtle perspective shift, but now I'm not afraid of fear. When I used to, my whole life was about fear. Now I don't even try to get rid of it. The second you begin to love the thing you hate, you take the weight off of it. It softens. It creates space to hear, oh, dancing is fun. Dancing is movement. That is where safety begins to strengthen, steadiness, where we begin to feel that, okay, I'm choosing that my repeat looks different than it did even 2%. I'm not asking you to completely change everything. Does that help?
Helps a lot.
Yeah? Cool. Oh, y'all, seriously, I love the questions. I love the pushback. It's the only way that's what these nights are really created for, is to help us. And all your thoughts will help when you go back and listen to it. It'll help all of us. It'll help the people who aren't here, I know for a fact. So thank you for that. Don't ever feel like you can't ask the hard questions. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Listen.
Well, Marilyn, thanks for calling me out because Aaron knows me. The craziest things can come right out of my mouth. And I wanted to respect Aaron and her show, and and not be the thing that would be like, oh my gosh, her program and that Wesley.
No. It's so funny. Our journeys are very similar, y'all. When we really realize it, like we've all had the same thoughts. Y'all, I just had them a lot earlier than you did. It's okay. I've been doing this for a long time. And this was birthed out of counseling, not only for myself, but years and years of counseling and trying to help people when they feel like they're stuck, right? And I was like, gosh, there has to be something. There's something missing here. And then isn't that funny? The ironic thing is there's nothing missing and nothing broken. Nothing's like, so I was looking for the broken parts, and what I found was that there's nothing broken. And you don't need to be fixed. And I'm like, well, great, awesome. How am I going to help people with that then? And so this is it's a bit of a different language, isn't it? It is for me too. But I know, and I'm so glad, again, thank you guys. Don't ever hold back, because your questions help us all go to that. And the thing is, I don't even it's not like we're going to another level. We're not going to another place. No, it's just, like you said, there was a crack. There was a little crack. Great. That's all I need. Just give me one tiny little crack. I'm happy with that. All right, y'all. Well, I'll post all of this. Yeah, you have something else, Lorraine?
No, I'm saying goodnight.
Okay. Awesome. You guys, thank you and Wes, hey, you're up late. I consider this a huge honor.
Well, now I'm awake and can't go to sleep.
Oh,
I
no.
wanted to be in bed at like 7:15.
Shoot. You're going to have a great night's sleep. I'm telling you. Great night's sleep. Y'all, I had a dream. It was so funny, Wes. Like, I really, when you texted, I guess it was this morning or yesterday morning, I had just dreamt that I came into the living room and you were sitting on the couch and I started talking to you. And then I was like, wait a minute, you're here. Why are you here? And you started laughing because Lexi was on you and you started laughing. And I was like, you surprised me. I was so happy to see you. And then you texted and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for everything. And you guys can text me. If you have questions, don't hesitate to text. All right?
Okay. Thanks for speaking up, Wes. Appreciate it,
Oh, who said that?
Marilyn.
Oh, well, thank you for speaking up because oh my gosh, I know your story. Different situations, but I know how you feel.
Okay. Well, I just speak life over you, all of you. And I just declare, Wes, that your sleep is going to be sweet. You're going to lay your head on that pillow. Your mind is going to be clear because you've been exploring everything that has been bugging the hell out of you.
Come on. Yep. I love it.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
You guys make me smile. All right, y'all. Have a great night.
Okay,
Good
good night.
night.
Bye-bye.